Alright, so welcome back here everybody, and we're just going to go ahead here and continue working on our fish. So as you can see here, we still need to do a little bit of refinement for the rest of our fish here, and to do this I think we need to go ahead and touch up our lips. We'll also go ahead and do our fins here, and then we'll go ahead and get ready for the retopology process inside of Maya. And let's go ahead and get our lips working here, and we're going to go ahead and just adjust our lips a little more. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab my Damien standard brush, just turn the intensity down here, and I'm just going to go ahead and redefine the lips with a little more stroking here, and we'll just come down here and cut our lips in a little bit more. Go ahead and just jump back up to subdivision level 5 here. I'm also going to go ahead and grab my pinch brush, and that looked like it might have been a little bit too much pinch, so we'll go ahead and pinch those lips together here. Okay, we'll go ahead and try and clean up some of the indentions that are actually on the mesh that I can see here around the eye, some on the back fin here, and you can tell where this is still probably a little too thick. So I'm just going to jump down to my subdivision level 3 and just grab my move topology brush here. Try to thin this out a little more. I don't want it to be too thick because the light source that I'm going to be rendering with just isn't going to come through properly, as I can tell there. Like I said, I don't want it to be too thick. I want it to be sort of easy to get the light source to pop through it. Okay, so have to thin out the tail here as well. Probably a little more. Okay. I think we're okay there. We definitely have to do some work on the fins here, so let's go ahead and do that. To go ahead and add the detail for the fin here, I'm gonna do this sort of simply. What I want to go ahead and do is just make sure that I jump up to my subdivision level 5. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and mask out all the areas of where I'm going to be cutting some details on our fins. So we'll just go ahead and paint out the masks here for the bottom fin, these rudder fins, also the side fins here. Okay, it looks like I actually got a little bit more mask painted than I really wanted there. Okay. Try to take that mask off. Go ahead and just invert that mask, and I'm going to go ahead and grab my rake brush, and I'm just going to select one of these brushes to replace with the rake brush. So I'll just go ahead and select the inflate and go ahead and grab the rake, and if I go ahead and run this through, you can see where that is just way too intense, but it's also grabbing here on the back portion of that fin, and I don't want that to happen. Whenever I run a stroke here, I want to make sure that I'm only getting it on the front or only on the back. And to fix that, what we can do is we can go into our brush palette, come down here to our auto masking. I'm going to go ahead here and turn on our back face calling, or our back face mask. So now whenever I run this, you're going to see where there's no stroke here on the back, and that's exactly what I want. But this is way too intense. Okay, so I definitely need to adjust the intensity here. So we're going to turn this all the way down to say something like 3. So you can see now where that's a little bit better. But I don't want to be popping out. I actually want to be subtracting from the model. Or you can pop out. I mean, it's up to you. Either one is probably going to work as long as we throw an alpha on it. So say let's go with the add. let's take an alpha and let's say throw in alpha 58 here and see how this looks. So that looks okay. But that also looks fairly decent. So I mean, it's really up to you in terms of how you actually want to go ahead and cut that in. I think I'm going to use the Z sub there. I'm just going to turn the intensity down a little more, and also change the focal shift. And we'll just go ahead and go slowly here, trying to make sure that we don't get too much detail. I want at least a little bit, but not an over kill of detail for the fins there. Go ahead and do the same thing for the side here. And go ahead for the inside portion of the fin here. Okay, maybe smooth that out a little bit. Do the same thing here for the top. And if you want, you can always, you know, while running your strokes, also hold down Alt. And so instead of getting, you know, what would be the sub, you're going to get a little bit of the Z add. You go ahead and just close this so I have more room here. Let's see exactly what I'm doing. And I'm just, you know, taking some quick strokes here. Nothing that's going to be way pushed out. And I'm also trying to smooth that back just a little bit so that it's not so edgy and faceted. Okay, so I think we're okay there. Let's go ahead and do a quick version on our tail here. Smooth that out just a little bit. And we'll go ahead and take that mask off, maybe smooth the edges out there. And I think I'm going to go ahead in here and spray a little bit as well. So it gets us a little bit extra noise. Let me go ahead and just jump up to subdivision level 6 here, so I can capture a little bit more of that detail. I try to get those veins in there as well. You know, throw some on the back side of the side fins here. Okay. So at this point, let me go ahead and just make sure that we cut our pupils in here as well for the eyes, because a lot of people tend to forget to do that. An easy way to go ahead and do it is just make sure that you have your symmetry mirrored on. And we'll jump up to subdivision level 3, and you can see where the where ZBrush is taking a little bit extra time, and that's just because of the way that I mirrored that symmetry over. And so this is definitely a large poly count for the eyes, which is just a simple mistake. I mean, it's really no big deal. And we can just move in here and just hold down Alt. I'm going to go ahead and drag out here. Okay, so there you can see where our pupils come in. He really sort of does look like he's a bit stuck up, and you know, that's fine. There's really no problem here for doing that. This is just mainly to show you guys an example of how I would go ahead and make, how I'm going to actually make one of the modules for our fish here. So in the next lesson, we'll go ahead and come back, and I will walk you guys through retopologizing, of which we'll actually be using another fish, which will be a barracuda. And that should take us probably anywhere between 15 minutes to 45, just depending on how well we will actually want to do the retopology. So in the next lesson, we'll go ahead and come back and we'll do the retopology process. So come on back, everybody.